I'm Anna Hoffman, and welcome back to Data Exposed. Today, I'm joined by Sunitha, product manager in the Azure Databases team. Sunitha, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
I am good, and it's really exciting to have you on the show today because we're talking about something brand new called Rayfin. Now, I know you're going to take us through it. You're going to show us some demos, tell us how it works. But before we get into it, I'd love to understand a little bit more about what is it for and why did we build Rayfin?
So I'll give some context on what I do in the databases org. So I'm a PM on the Fabric app dev team. So a lot of the app related kind of platforms or services is what I work on. And the reason why you would end up using Rayfin within the Fabric ecosystem is to be able to build some applications based off of the data that's already there in Fabric. Your data lives in Fabric. If you want to operationalize that data, build whether it's a dashboard kind of an application or a inventory type of an application for anything that your business needs to keep track of things, that's a lot more easier to just go build if both exist in the same place rather than in two different places.
Got it. That makes a ton of sense. And as far as how does it differ from a traditional app hosting you might be familiar with? What does Rayfin simplify for developers?
So if you're familiar with if you're built on Azure or AWS or any other kind of providers, you probably have seen that in most of the past kind of solutions is you build your front end in a particular service, then you figure out which database you want to use, then you figure out, do I need a CDN? Do I need to have some APIs? Do I need There's a whole set of services you need to go figure out and what exactly you have to the whole architecture is going to look like, right? So but it's like DIY for your app. You need to understand a lot of these complexities and go stitch them up together. Versus in Rayfin, you end up getting the whole set of backend as a service in a bundled package format with our own SDK and our own CLI tooling and all of those capabilities as a result to just make it much more easier to develop with it. And you don't have to worry about, okay, how do I get my database connected to my front end app? I don't have to worry about how do I connect to any other services that my app might need, like auth and so on.
Okay, got it. Makes a ton of sense. So, kind of in the spirit and promise of Fabric, this is a way of simplifying some of your app development and tying things together, especially when it comes to data related apps. So, is this a workload in Fabric? And can you tell us more about it?
So this is just another item in Fabric. Just as you would go create a notebook or a pipeline in Fabric, you can just go create an app in Fabric. You go through the steps, and it's a pretty easy onboarding experience that I'll show later. But you can get quickly started with working on just building an application, just as you would with any other item in Fabric today.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'd love to kind of take a look and learn more.
All right. Here's an introduction of what Rayfin is. It's a managed Fabric backend as a service for building more enterprise focused applications. Now you can see there's kind of two areas. One is your agent-friendly SDK, and you have your management plane. So the agent-friendly SDK allows you to quickly understand what database to connect to, what authentication service you can use as part of your application. Some of the features that are coming soon are storage, real-time notifications, and functions. Now, obviously, this gives you the backend, but you obviously want your application hosted in Fabric as well. So this is where the hosting aspect of it comes, and the management plane handles a lot of the plumbing kind of work between your backend and your front end to make sure that everything seamlessly works, and all your policies across your authorization and who can access what data and all of that is handled as part of our SDK. I did talk about the SDK a little bit before, but I think the big value prop that you have here with Rayfin is our code first SDK. Now, typically you would go build an application and you would write everything with like T-SQL, set up your schema, all your tables, your relationship between the tables. And the expectation is the user has to know a lot of T-SQL to be able to go spin that up and then connect that to your front end application. Here, everything is within your front end application code itself. We use a decorator model. The decorator model allows you to define an entity, which is your table. And we use TypeScript types. So this is type safe to be able to define what fields, what columns your entity should have. You also have authorization policies. For example, can somebody write into a database, write into the entity? Can somebody read can the update or delete. I think a lot of that policies that you need to define on your table, like who has access to do what, is also in a form of a decorator model where you can provide the right access policies for the data itself. Now, this is built for agents, and that's one of the reasons why we approached with this as a code first SDK. So it's not just easy for humans to write code with it, but also agents.
Awesome. That's super cool. And, I have so many questions, but maybe just to give one question to me that is kind of like when you're developing or like building something with Rayfin, what does that workflow look like?
So when you're building something with Rayfin, there's a simple CLI tool that we could actually take advantage of to actually go ahead and start. So you could just do an npm create to create your application. Because it's agent first, you can actually ask GitHub Copilot to be able to give a feature that you want to build on the application, or tell it to go build a brand new application, whether it's like a procurement site, or it is like an inventory application, or something like a BI application as well. And once it builds it, all you have to do is just run and test your app, and then you can deploy to Fabric as well. So it's a very streamlined way to build, taking advantage of GitHub Copilot, whether you like CLI or VS Code, whichever experience, it just works with all of them.
Nice. This is awesome. I'd love to take a look at, what it looks like, how it works.
Awesome. Let me show you a demo. All right. So here you can see that I'm in the Fabric portal. All I have to do is within my workspace, go create an app item. I can provide any name here. In this case, I'm just going to use my to-do app and go ahead and create the application. You have a template to kick off with. You can start with the to-do app. We also have a data app template. The data app templates allow you to build Power BI type applications, which is more like business analytics insights, product insights, types of applications that you want to have within your organization. Now this is deployed, and you can see there's a simple URL that I can click on if I need to see it on a new tab, but you can also see it within the Fabric portal itself.
Cool.
My to-do app, and I just added a task. I can delete the task, and some of the basic operations are there. This is how it looks like if you just open in a browser on a new tab. To get started locally, you can just do a command, copy the prompt, put it on the GitHub Copilot chat. This goes and spins up the whole application that you just saw on your local machine. It can take some time to actually set up all the template files. Since we're using GitHub Copilot, we also have a bunch of skills as part of the template itself to make sure that GitHub Copilot has enough context of what the Rayfin SDK looks like, and to be able to provide the right kind of guardrails for the agent to be able to build the application using our SDK.
Nice. That's cool. It truly is like built for agents to, it's just cool to see it in action.
Yeah. Now everything is set up, and here you can see it actually created the to-do class. This is my to-do table basically. And you can also see there's a role called authenticated. So basically, if I logged in, I can go create a to-do item, I can manage it, and so on. We have a Rayfin client. The Rayfin client is initialized to be able to work with all the backend services that we have defined. In this case, it's the auth service as well as the data service. You can see there's a client as well that you get, which allows you to access all the data APIs for all CRUD operations. So if you saw that I added a random column, it'll complain saying that this is not a valid item within the to-do table itself. And you can also see there's enough of logic around here that the Copilot has added where if you're not authenticated, you can't create. Now I'm adding a new feature. So let's add a due date for each to-do task and maybe some categories so I can kind of group them and filter them out. You can see it added a bunch of updates. And because it is context aware about the Rayfin SDK, it knows exactly how to follow the model of how to define like a CRUD operation within your code base, or also define how the entity should look like, and just follows the same patterns that are well defined within the Rayfin SDK. Now, all I have to do is just tell Copilot to deploy my changes, and it can go ahead and just deploy my changes to Fabric. This is a simple and easy way for you to just get started. And I haven't written any of the code by hand, but and that's it. You can see a live app URL, and you also can see the Fabric portal URL there. So you can see there's I can write a particular task, and I can set a due date and some categories that I want, work or home related kind of categories, just for me to manage some of the to-dos.
Yeah.
But but this shows that you can do a lot more than just a to-do app. And you can see there's a child database here since we're using Fabric SQL Database under the hood to store all the data information for the to-do task. Here you can see there's a to-do table. You can see all the information that I just created, like buy groceries, write a strategy doc, all of that got added as well. Now I can also share this with anyone within my organization. By default, they can actually view and interact with the app. And this is a very simple way to just quickly get started, but you can do a lot more with the data that you have. If you're having semantic models, you can connect to a semantic model as well and build data applications and leverage those insights that you can share within your organization.
Awesome. Cool. This is super cool, super easy. I can't wait to go play with it. And I believe with the latest announcement, by the time people are watching this video, this should be in public preview. Is there anything specific people need to go do and able to try this out?
So any public preview feature within Fabric, you have to enable the tenant admin settings for this feature. So just enable Fabric apps in your tenant admin settings, and you can go from there.
Awesome.
Go ahead and create your application from once that's enabled.
Great. And one final question for you, Sunitha, is like this is great. And I saw actually I really liked how it deploys locally first or like allows you to run it locally so you can test and make sure and then you deploy it out to production. As we think more about scaling from like prototypes through production to maybe an app that gets used a lot, like how does that work?
Um, it's a lot more easier to be able to deploy the application just using our CLI at this point. But you can also do a lot of CI/CD experiences through GitHub Actions and all of that. So the whole end-to-end developer work cycle just works with the existing way of how you do it today.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. Well, Sunita, thanks so much for coming on the show. I learned a lot about Rayfin. I'm sure our users did as well. Everyone's either going to try this out or reaching out to their tenant admin to turn it on. So to our viewers, if you like this episode, go ahead, give it a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you think you're going to use Rayfin for or what you've tried it with. And we'll put some links in the description so you can go learn more, but we hope to see you next time on Data Exposed.